ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Friends, welcome back to the study of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, and we have studied the shloka number 19th. Now, we are in a section of the study which has to be understood very deeply, because the concept is unusual. Unusual for people like us who live in this world, interact with this world, with our body-mind complex, with our sense organs and life forces and intellect and etc. And we interact in such a manner that this world is a real, tangible, concrete, vibrating, living entity for us. To say this world is not real, people will laugh at us. How could we say so? But the word real has to be properly defined. When the definition is proper as to what is real, what is unreal, and what appears to be real though unreal. So the definition of the word reality has to be known, then only we can understand what the scriptures mean by this world is not real. The soul, the spirit, the Holy Ghost, the Atman, the Brahman is real. This is the first thing. The second problem is, it is said, but by devoted, dedicated, determined, disciplining our faculties, we can reach that goal, which is identifying ourselves with our real nature. The word real comes in here again. Let me repeat again. The scriptures say, history proves that there are such human personalities born to their parents, living their lives in this world, and then, by the call of the divine, they decided that my goal of life is to be one with my Maker, or from the Vedantic point of view, to manifest the divinity which is already within me. It comes to somebody's mind, and that person, as I told you before, let me repeat, with dedicated, devoted, determined disciplining his or her own faculties, all that has been bestowed on him as a most evolved biological creature, he or she makes use of it in such a manner that slowly and slowly he or she develops that insight to discriminate between what is real and what appears to be real, but not real. That discrimination dawns. And basing on that discrimination, he or she manages her attitude, his thinking, his behavior pattern in consonance with, in the same wavelength with, of what he wants to achieve. If I am the Spirit, if I am the Atman, if I am the Brahman or the Holy Ghost, then the first and foremost thing is I should not chase after things which appear to be very attractive, full of promises, as if it is real. It appears to be real, but on discretion and discrimination, I find it is not real. I will pay all my attention to disidentify myself with what I am not and re-identify myself with my true, real nature. This is what the scriptures say. This is what history has proved, and we have endless facts of history where humans have reached that goal. And having reached that goal, because Lord God of the universe decides he should live in the human society and set an example to others how to live, how not to live. And if you live in such and such a manner, in such and such a way, with such and such an attitude, this is your achievement. This is the result that you will enjoy. And if you don't, this is what will happen to you. We are in the 4th chapter of the Gita in that state. Therefore, dears, I will request all your attention and not to be shocked by the novelty of these ideas. It takes a little time for the ideas to seep in, and then you start feeling at home with these ideas. And then those ideas, when assimilated, transforms your attitude, transforms your behavior pattern. And this transformation of your egocentric existence into the divine is what is known as spiritual education, austerity, tapasya, or sadhana, call it by any name. That quantum of effort is required. Now, with this as a preamble, let us come back to the text. Sri Krishna has said previously, Janma karma chame divyam. Ya evam beti tattatah tvakta deham punarjanma naeti mam eti saha Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, listen to me carefully. I am proclaiming to the world through you. I am proclaiming myself to the world through you, who am I? What am I? He has said he is avatar, incarnation of God as a human. What does it mean? He appears to be a human. He lives in this world as a human. But his sense of values, sense of ideas and attitudes is totally different, though he appears to be a human. In reality, he or she has identified himself or herself with the true real nature, the Atman, the Brahman. The maker of the universe, the father or the mother of the universe. He has identified himself with the reality, not the appearance. He says, Mama Janma Mama Karma Divyam. We have paid much attention to it, but there is no harm repeating it so that it goes deep into our understanding. Divyam means Dotanavan. What is Dotanavan in English? It is effulgent. There is no darkness, no non-understanding in it. It is as bright as the sun. You don't need a light to see the sun. It is the sun's light which illuminates everything. If you can study each and every act and deed of an avatar, you will find that though he appears to be human, but his behavior pattern belongs to a different category altogether. That is, when one is deep agony, this is how he reacts. He is beyond all the 6 ripus, the 6 propensities, and he is nothing else but compassion personified, love personified, as if he has nothing but compassion and love to give. And he is beyond all those 6 propensities, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. So much above that, but he is a human. He weeps with the human, he laughs with the human, he plays with the humans as if they are one, but he is of a different category. He who, a sadhaka, a desirous soul, knows that in its essence, tattataha, what happens to him? He has realized the real nature, which is nitya, eternal, time has no hold on it, infinite, space has no hold on it, it is beyond mutation, that it doesn't change, it is absolute, eternal, immutable, absolute. Changeless, and change is conditioned by time and space. Time, space has stopped functioning on him. And who is he? Think in this changeful world. I am is a permanent quote. I am. I am. That is why I am aware of this world. I am. Now, who is that am? Who is that I am? Somehow or other, by birth, I have identified myself with this body-mind. And this body-mind, with all its sense organs and active organs, gets involved with this world. And he keeps himself or herself so busy, no time to think, who am I? I take it for granted I am this body-mind complex, which in reality I am not. But I have accepted it, this mistaken identity, as my true identity. This, dear, is a secret. This is what has to be achieved. Now, the process of achievement. In English, there's an idiom. What you think, so you become. When we were children, the example of 3 monkeys were placed before us. I see no evil, I hear no evil, and I speak no evil. 3 monkeys, one holding the ears, one shutting the eyes, and one holding the mouth. I see no evil, I hear no evil, I say no evil. So, you are totally disassociating yourself from evil. Totally dissociating yourself from evil seeing, evil hearing, evil speaking. You are with goodness. So, you are becoming good. You are in the process of manifesting the goodness in you. What you think, so you become. And in Sanskrit language, the same idea is said, tat bhava bhavita bhavati. Whatever is your bhavana, whatever you think, you become that for the time being because you have identified yourself with that idea. Jadrishi bhavana jasya siddhir bhavati tadrishi, you'll find in the Gita. Whatever is your attitude, you are molding yourself according to that attitude. If you continuously assert that I am the perfect, I am the best, I am one with the divine, and these are the divine qualities. Shara Bhaga Sampanna Bhagavan. Jnana Aishwarya Shakti Bala Virya. Those are the divine qualities. And I am cultivating those divine qualities. What is happening? I am saturating my being with those ideas. And what you think, so you become. Tat bhava bhavita bhavati jadrishi bhavana jasya siddhir bhavati tadrishi. The matter of your attitude is, you become one with that. So the matter here is that you and me, having studied this, we need certain guidelines. From the 16th shloka onwards till the 24th, Sri Krishna will supply us with 1,000 different states through definitions, through words. Each and every word explodes into an idea. That is another branch of our philosophy, known as philosophy of grammar. What is it? Shakti. That is, I use a word and it explodes into an idea. And I have the capacity to latch on to the idea, or hold on to that idea. And more I latch myself on and hold on, what is happening? My personality is being saturated with that idea. And I am being and becoming that evolution. So what happens in the 16th shloka, Sri Krishna makes it abundantly clear. What does he say? Kim karma. What is activity? Kim akarma. What is inactivity? Or actionlessness. What is action? What is actionlessness? Kim karma, kim akarma iti kavayo api atra mohita. People of deep wisdom and farsight, they are confused. They don't understand the distinction between action and non-action. And that is how we are all involved in this world, and we are unable to retrieve ourselves from this involvement. So he says, Tatte karma prabhakshami. I will, with a special attitude, bhakshami is to say, prakshami, prakrishta rupena bhakshami. Pra is a suffix. I add the word before that vowel, bhakshami. I will teach you in great detail perfectly what is karma. Jajgatva, first, intellectually, rationally, you understand. And then you put it into practice. Transform the idea into your day-to-day movement of life. Jat gyatva, experiencing which ashubhat mokshase. You will be free from ashubha, is that which is not healthy, happy and good. You will be in a state of eternal joy, enjoying the majesty, magnificence, excellence and glory of your own true original nature. He promises that, prabhakshami, and he lives with his statement for the next few shlokas from 17th right up to 24th. And those words, those shlokas are according to that famous Swami Pahari Baba of Gazipur, to whom Swamiji went. He told him, Jan sadhana, told Swamiji, Tanna siddhi. What does it mean? I put in an effort to correct my attitude and my behavior pattern. I am putting in an effort, attitude and my behavior pattern. The effort is there. And slowly, that effort is maturing into a habit. And a habit in a repetitive manner generates a force of habit. And that force of habit erodes all the negative thinkings of the past, and you are saturated with the positive attitude, I am Atma Brahma. What I know as I am. I have been identifying myself with this body-mind complex. It was an error of judgment. It was a misconception, misunderstanding. Wrong statement of facts. Misstatement of facts. I now know who am I, what am I. And it becomes a spontaneous knowledge with me. Jan sadhan, that which you start with an effort, becomes effortless and spontaneous. That is siddhi. So these few shlokas from 17 to 24 is both lakshana, that is signs and symptoms of a realized soul. At the same time, that is the sadhana of a desiring soul who wants to reach that goal. So, dears, these few shlokas, if you are a serious pursuer of your spiritual goal, make no mistake, there is no easy way. You have to mend your personality, your character, by continuous endeavor to get out of this error of thinking that I am this body-mind complex. And it is not easy. Swamiji once said, you know what is to be one with Brahman? How easy is it? And he said very graphically, Ganga reaches the Bay of Bengal, the town, the village is known as Ganga Sagara, a village, where Ganga enters the Bay of Bengal. Ganga has started from Gomukh, high up in the Himalayas. You take that water back from the river to the river's flow has to be reversed back to its origin. With all the gravitational force, it is almost well nigh impossible. To change this body-mind awareness into I am not this body, not this mind, not this life force is easy to speak, but is well nigh impossible to perform. But what is impossible takes a little time. That is what is said in English. What is difficult must be tackled now. And that what is impossible will only take a little more time. Going to the moon was an impossible concept. But you take a little time. We took a little time to reach the moon. So, dear, I have spent so much of time on it just to impress upon you all these few shlokas that we will read now should not be taken as an inspiring poetry or a poem. It is full of instructions of what to do, what not to do, and if you prepare to do, how do you go about it? All these suggestions are inbuilt in these shlokas. Prashnagarbha, Hetugarbha, Ukti. That is, these words are pregnant with, saturated with ideas which are instructive in nature to be performed. Now let us go ahead from shloka number 19. Shloka number 16 has told you, Jaj gyatva mokshase ashubhat tat te prabhakshami. Sri Krishna says, I will precisely explain to you, describe to you, teach you what is karma, what is akarma, and how you know it intellectually first, then convert it into practice, attitudinal correction, which will result into behavioral correction. And you start with effort, and it becomes spontaneous in time. The quotient of effort disappeared. What is sadhana today becomes siddhi tomorrow, effortless, spontaneous. So, dears, let us now go ahead with our study. The shloka number 17 and 18 we have read before, but 18 shloka says, Sa buddhiman manusheshu sa Krishna karma krit. Who? Karmani akarma japashet. In intense activity, that person whom I see is intensely active. He knows he is not. The body-mind is involved. Deha indriya vyapara. And he says, Indriyani indriyartheshu vartanta iti dharayan. Naiva kinchit karomiti. I do nothing. It is this body-mind complex is involved. I am separated from it. This is what is being said here. It's a matter of great fortune if you can see and live with such a person. That is a matter of great fortune. I will tell you an incident, and you will be partly cleared as to what it is. Srimad Swami Jagadananda Ji Maharaj was known to be a realized soul because it cannot be hidden. The behavior pattern was such that he emanated mukti, as it were. You look at him and you know, oh my, he has reached. There is a statement. There was one Swami who was very fond of Turiyanandaji when he was alive. I have seen that Swami in Benares. Swami Jagadanandaji was sitting in the office talking to Swami Atma Prakashanandaji, the secretary of the center, Priyanath Maharaj. And that Swami, who has been great influence by Swami Suryanandaji, and he himself was a realized soul, he enters the hall, looks at him, Jagadananda ji, and spontaneously says, "Arey, ye Mahatma to pahunch gaye." Arey is an exclamation. Oh dear me! What's it? This Swami has already reached that level. That was the spontaneous expression of the other realized soul, who was Hari Maharaj's Shevak, and he didn't belong to our organization. That Swami Jagadananda ji, at his very ripe old age of nearing 76 or 78, he was a tottering old man. Slowly and slowly he was losing his balance. But the doctors insisted he must go for a walk every day. So we who were students studying the Upanishads with him, we were about 7 or 8 of us, we used to encircle him, and we didn't offend him. We didn't make any show that we are protecting him. He with his stick would go the walk. And we used to be like half a circle around him. If something else, we can always hold him. One day, he raised the topic. I am told the doctors say that body is no more able to maintain its balance. When he raised the topic, Swami Atmasthananda ji, the leader of the team of students, told him, "Sir, you may not be worried. We are worried about you." He stopped, looked at him. Look, called him by his first name, home name. Look, you may be worried. I know this body has achieved what it had to achieve. Now, if it falls dead in this dirty water lane, the dirty water that flows, or it falls in front of a temple, makes no difference to me. I am what I am. He spoke very normally, without any emphasis. Only he had a habit. When he had to have an emphasis, he used to rotate his stick and then hit the soil with a clicking noise to emphasize, I am what I am. And all of us, we never had the slightest doubt for that moment. All doubt disappeared. Here's a man who says he has identified himself with that. He is not identified with it, although the body is functioning. Indriyani intriyarteshu vartante iti dharayan. Sarvarambha parityagi. These are the words that explode into this meaning. So, dears, let me now get back to the text. I will start from shloka number 19, which I have read last time, but from now onwards, I will continue to remind you these are both what one has to do as sadhana, and that effort becomes spontaneous, the effort disappears, it becomes siddhi. So let us now concentrate on the sadhana aspect of it. Let us not think only of the poem and the poetic excellence of it. Please pay attention to how we should conduct our life, correct our attitude, so that we slowly and slowly adjust, accumulate, assess, assimilate these ideas within ourselves, and our personality transforms as tasteless water becomes a syrup later. Jasya sarve samarambha jnana sankalpa varjita. Jasya sarve samarambha. Arambha. I decide I will have to do this. This is my duty. This is arambhana, the starting point. What is that? My sense of duty. Sarve, no escape. Whether it is duty, whether it's hobby, whether it is compulsion, whether it's willful, I decide to do something. Arambhana. I decide to do something. Sarve, all. No exclusion, all inclusive. What is that? How do I start? Kama sankalpa varjita. I desire nothing. I plan for nothing. Now, immediately, the modern psychiatrist will say, if you don't have a motive, you will not have an incentive. There has to be a motive. And when we say there has to be a motive, being people of the world, we say this is my motive. That is the desire that I expect this work of mine should produce. This is how we work. Now he says, Kama Sankalpa Varjita. Varjita means no trace of it, no touch of it, no smell of it. What? Kavana and Sankalpa. Desire and planning for success to achieve the fulfillment of desire. Planning part of it. I will do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. A person who has developed this habit of not having this desire, this expectation to plan to fulfill that desire, kama jnanagni dagdha karmanam. He is absolutely aware that I cannot attach myself to anything because I am eternally free. I am the Atman, I am the Brahman, I am eternal observer, I am the eternal witness, I am Drashta, I am Shakshi, I have nothing to do. This is the jnana. I have been told this is your goal. I am well established in that idea. And because of that, all my desires and sankalpas are burnt away. then how do I work without any incentive, without any motivation? This is the trick of the trade. Now, when we studied Karma Yoga, what did we say? We do our duty thoroughly, perfectly, correctly, excellently, and we expect nothing. We offer it to our God. Even we do not expect Tatra Ishvara api me tushyatu iti sangam tvakta. That is a duty, that is the performance of a karma yogi. You do it correctly, thoroughly, perfectly, excellently. And what is your motivation? Not to be motivated by worldly achievements. So, not to be motivated by worldly motivation is a negative attitude. The positive attitude is, I do it thoroughly, I do it correctly, with all my heart and soul and endeavor. Why? Because I'd like to offer it to my loved God. My beloved Ishtadev, I would like to offer it to him. Sarvarambha parityagi. Jasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjita jnanagni dvagdha karmanam tvam buddha panditam ahu. The knowers of the self calls such a person a pandita, a person who has known the essence of it, the Atman, who am I in reality. So, dears, this is the shloka. We have to now practice this. Sarve samarambha. Whatever I have to do, I do it thoroughly, correctly, perfectly, excellently. And I do it absolutely, so that nobody can say, I did not apply myself to it. My mind was elsewhere, nothing doing. Put your mind under control. And you work. Having done so, just for a moment, this is what I offer to you. This is my worship of yours. I have converted the work concept, the flow of life, into an endless worship of my beloved Ishtadev. Tam buddha panditam ahu. If you can do that, you are qualified to be called a pandita, that is, panda vishav jnanam jasyasti sapandita. He who has a substantial understanding of who he is in reality. This is the first shloka. He gives you further signs and symptoms. That is, Trakta karma phala sangyam nitta tripta nirashayaha karmani abhipravrityopi naiva kinchit karoti sa. The sign and symptom are definition of a realized soul. Why? These signs and symptoms and definitions are your sadhana. Jan sadhan, Tansiddhi. What is imagination today becomes a realization tomorrow. The effort that you put in becomes a part and parcel of habit formation force, and that force erodes the erroneous judgment of mind. And I slowly and slowly rehabilitate myself, the excellence, the glory, the majesty of my own being. So let us read this shloka today. We may not have time to go deep into it, but let us get the word-to-word meaning. Tvaktva karma phala sangam. Tvaktva karma phala. Asangam. First quarter of the shloka. Tvakta, please. Karma phala. Please throw it out and be detached. What does it mean? Work for the work's sake in the form of worship. Tvakta karma phala and asangam bhava. Asangam, unattached, untainted, uninvolved, unpolluted, not dirtied. This is a dirt to identify yourself with what you are not. So, how to proceed in life? Karma phala tvakta, and thereby be asanga. Nitya tripta nirashraya. Nitya tripta, absolutely satiated. What is tripti? In a summer day, you are thirsty and somebody gives you a glass of lassi, yogurt drink, and you drink, and you feel totally satiated. Nothing to achieve anymore. I'm happy. Nitya tripta. Tripti is satiation. You are always. Why? Because I am Sat Swarup, Chit Swarup, Ananda Swarup Atma. And I am placed in that, not on expectations of the world. Nirashraya. Two words have been placed side by side. Nitya tripta, nirashraya. Positively, you are placed on the majesty of your own being. As because you are placed on the majesty of your own being, you have withdrawn from placing yourself from the false sense of security of the world. So you don't need anything. You have secured your platform. You are well ensconced in your seat. Karmani abhipravrittopi. I see him intensely active. Naiva kinchit karoti sa. He doesn't do anything. I see him and my eyes, he is involved. But he says, I do. That is, he has identified himself with the body. And he continues to do what he says, I do not. I do, I do not. He has the capacity to involve, to withdraw. This is one of the sadhanas. And all these statements will carry on till shloka number 24. Therefore, I will pay enormous attention to these shlokas because they are the pillars to hold yourself on to this very arduous journey, which will call for every inch of your strength, your determination, your devotion, and sense of discipline. Thank you, dears. Thank you. Let us stop here today. We'll carry on with this study the next Sunday. Thank you. May God bless us all.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.